Good day, Rust skin enjoyers. The newest Rust store appeared early-ish again because, yeah, all the skins were accepted beforehand. So in the future, you might want to keep an eye on all of this in the Rust workshop, and I'll quickly show that in a second. So we're just going to hop over to here. We have all the new skins right in front of you. Very weapon and tool heavy this week. Maybe this implies we might be seeing something interesting next week. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, but not even a single deployable and only one clothing and armor skin. A bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. Sometimes this just happens, okay? It's a little bit odd. So what we can do right now is just quickly go ahead and find out which of these skins is abnormal. So, here we are. So this isn't abnormal, this isn't abnormal, this isn't abnormal, this is abnormal, this is abnormal, this is abnormal, this is abnormal, this isn't abnormal, this is abnormal. So the From Hell tools are abnormal, the roadside gloves are abnormal, the Redemption M249 is abnormal, and the Sonana or Banana Saw, that is abnormal as well. So we've got 5 skins to chase after next week. They will all be appearing on the Steam market at an earlier time compared to the other skins. Sounds good? Right. So basically what I was referencing is every Thursday now you need to be in the habit of scrolling down from the Rust Workshop, go to the accepted in game section, because like I said, all of these skins were accepted like an hour or so before the actual rotation happened. So people already jumped in and made moves. And the only real thing people were going to be reacting to this week was the JPEG collection. So that's essentially what's happened. Earlier today, the JPEG pants were selling for like $1.50, $2. I mean, if we just quickly look at this now, because I've actually waited like 2 or so hours since the Rust Store rotation happened. And look at that, reaction has been happening. So it was just sitting here about $2 and it doubled in price almost. Very nice. And if you happen to own any JPEG hoodie and pants, I'm pretty sure you might be pretty happy right now. Even the armor's been jumping up. So the reason why people have been kind of, jumping all about this is because I guess it gives a bit of a hint that we potentially might be seeing the Tier 3 appear at some point in the near future. I won't be talking about that too much right now because, I'll leave that for a bit. So the main thing I want to talk about right now is last week's skins. So last week, here we have all of these skins, and at the moment, yep, they're all marketable now, of course. We've already done our buy orders, and we're going to be discussing all of them right now. So, Pirate Tier 3, we were discussing this a lot. Over the past week, we've been trying to figure out how things are likely going to end up with this, how things are going to likely end up with the amount of sales that we had, and get a good look at this. Almost 53,000 sales and almost 45,000 sales here. So both of these sold a very high amount. But I did point out, with the amount of people that we see playing nowadays, maybe 40,000 sales isn't that ridiculous of a number anymore. But anyway, looking at this, I am looking at it thinking this is probably going to work out quite all right. I am concerned about the amount of sales that it's had. Yes, that's definitely something I would be concerned about. But I think it's mainly driven by actual genuine demand. So last night, I of course did my abnormal buy orders video, and I will point this out, it's not just the buy orders, it's also figuring out prices. We devoted a lot of time last night to figuring out what prices we might want to offer for all the regular skins, aka mainly we talked about Pirate Tier 3. And I sat here and said, guys, I think 80 cents to 95 cents is probably going to be the best thing that you could do. Lo and behold, that's where most people are. So loads of buy order build up, loads of support. It's pushing and it's now breached $1. So there was so much buy orders going all the way up to $1 and now it's going above $1. And yeah, I know there's already 100 quantity on the Steam market, 100 quantity being the average amount for a Rust skin. But I'll be honest with you, I think the demand is there enough to keep the price up, and it's probably potentially going to go even higher. Now, of course, don't forget, next week we are hoping for the likes of Pirate Hoodie and Pants to be accepted. Could it happen? Maybe, as I said, with this week being hardly any clothing and armor skins. Maybe next week we might be seeing a lot more of them. There are no guarantees. It's all just, hopes. But remember what happened to the whiteout boots. There was a lot of resistance, there was a lot of build-up, there was a lot of sales. A lot of richer people will do this on purpose. Don't immediately cave in and panic if you see there's quite a lot of sales listed, all right? you'll find out that if you sold your skin to the highest buy order, the people who are listing these in such high quantities are also the people with the highest buy order. They're trying to trick you into selling to them so that they can get more of the stock and then control it. And then, they can easily just remove all of their quantity afterwards, and suddenly it can easily go up in price. In fact, how is Whiteout Boots looking at this moment in time? Because at some point last week, there's like over 8,000 sales, and now there's only 877. Yeah, that is it's a tactic, and it's been done many, many times. Look, there's still 14 and 21 and 18 there, but it's a damn sight lot better than 1,000 and several hundred listings here and whatnot. This could actually potentially go up in price fairly reasonably. Of course, there's like a 74 there, so it might stop there, but you understand what I mean. We would like to see these skins actually have room to grow, but when there's huge resistance, huge walls, it's not going to happen. But as of now, Pirate Tier 3 doesn't have that. But that's only as of now. Not everybody who bought them last week is able to sell theirs at this moment. Now, I will also bring up, of course, people who can't afford all of the Blackout set might be interchanging with the likes of Dragon Rage and Black Gold and Blackout and Pirate clothing and armor from here on now. And, that's fine. Some people might be extra picky and refuse to use anything other than Blackout. That's fine. But a lot of people are more than happy to just use a budget set. So Pirate Tier 3 potentially does have a nice future ahead of it. And I do think it has enough demand to keep the price up. And quite clearly right now, with the amount of buy order requests that these both have, it looks like it's going to have enough support to survive the year. And by the end of the next year, or rather, by the end of this year, or potentially if we do see the new core pieces being accepted, it will have a spike in demand and a spike in price. So should be okay. All right. Right, let's move on to the likes of the Adobe Barricade. So yeah, this doesn't have 3,000 requests to buy, but still quite a lot. 1,200, that is a bit of a surprise. But last night when we were discussing this, I asked my chat one simple thing. Can you think of at least 3 good reasons why you'd want this Adobe skin? Barricade skin, to be precise. More specifically, I'm referencing the Barricade. Why would you even want a skin for a Barricade? Have you ever used a Barricade enough? Or do you actually use them? That's the problem. See, if there's not actual genuine demand to use it and whatnot, how on earth is it going to hold up its price? If no one's going to actually buy them. Yeah, you might sit there and say, but it rarely ever gets skins. Well, probably because nobody even really uses them. I honestly think the only reason why this was accepted because it plays in very nicely with the recent Adobe building skin that was accepted. But other than that, other than role players, just don't think people care enough about it. I think some people fall into thinking because there's only a few Barricade skins that exist, it might potentially become a novel, rare and valuable item. No, that's not. It's not. It's over 10,000 sales for this. 11,000 now. So, yeah, buy orders only went up to just over $1, and even then, there's only a few that are over $1. It's probably going to be hard stuck at around $1 for quite some time. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Low Poly Python, guys, this was the lowest selling skin of the week, only 6,700 sales. It could be vulnerable to manipulation at some point, all right? But as of now, the actual genuine demand for it doesn't even reach $1. So keep this in mind. If you randomly see in the future the Low Poly Python selling for a randomly higher price, like a random $2 or $3 buy orders are here, yeah, no, that's manipulation underway. And, well, if you think it's potentially going to happen, why not put down a stronger buy order now or make a purchase or two? It's up to you. These manipulations tend to be very random as of now, but maybe the fact that I've told you about it, people probably won't even bother with it now. Yeah, but anyway, with the likes of the Nuke double barrel shotgun and the Right LR300, you might notice that these buy orders barely go over $1 as well. Well, it's the exact same thing. When people want to keen with the likes of weapon and tool skins, we only go up to about $1 because, by default, if these do get cheap enough, you can then convert them into metal, and metal usually sells for around $1. Therefore, people like to do 70-cent to 90-cent buy orders, because if they do happen to buy these skins in those prices, they can still sell it for at least a little bit of a profit, or just turn it into metal and sell it for a profit. So yeah, these don't really have that much demand to keep them up. Well, I wonder if they do get manipulated. And then, here we have the abnormal skins from last night. Shipping container garage door did over 42,000 sales, a ridiculous amount, and I have been questioning and trying my best to figure these things out. This was a $2.49 skin. Right now the cheapest one is $3.57. It's got buy orders going all the way up to $2.50. I'll be honest with you, this looks to be fairly healthy. The demand seems to be there. It looks like it will be holding up its value. Will it be going very high in price? I can't guarantee anything, but I have my doubts. I don't think it's going to be going up ridiculously amount in price. But hey, you never know. Someone on TikTok makes a video, suddenly everybody buys it. Suddenly everybody buys it. Yeah, happens a lot more than you think. It's so frequent now, it's ridiculous. So this right here, you have to buy the shipping container building skin to really get the best usage out of it. Well, that's a $15 purchase. No, $14. But what was the other option? You could just get the camouflage net garage door, but then you have to buy the camouflage net rug, and that costs $15. So this, the issues and problems, and just trying to set up a nice, reasonably camouflaged base in the foresty areas. Well, there you go. It's got a very nice batch of demand here. Loads of requests. It should be right. It should be right. That should be holding its value at the very least. No Mercy Crate. I sat here and said, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't imagine this is going to be going up insanely in price in the future, but I don't exactly think it's going to go down in price then stupidly, easily. So basically, the buy orders went all the way up to about $2.20, 30-ish. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to really be struggling. It looks like it's going to hold and retain its value. It should be okay. This is part of the most successful set in Rust in terms of most acceptances, the No Mercy collection. When loads of people return to play the game, you will probably see this getting bought out a reasonable amount. I just wouldn't really expect it to go up to like $10. It's cool, it's a nice design, but yeah, it's just more likely going to retain its value. And then we got the likes of the high quality metal SAR. Funnily enough, we talked about this last night. We didn't really want to go anywhere too high of a price. We just didn't really think it was going to be doing super good. Earlier, this was actually selling below its Rust store price. It actually seems to have perked up a bit, but this was a $2.49 skin. It's already getting sales of close to that price, but earlier today we did see a price of just about $2. So, yeah. With the buy orders only going up to really around $1.70-ish, I don't imagine this will be retaining its value. I think it will be going below its Rust store price in not too much time, unfortunately. But that is the way it is. And then we got the Primitive Crate. This was selling for $2, and, well, buy orders only went up to about $1.20. And you can see right here, it's already going below its Rust store price. If the demand isn't there, the price will go down. So, yep, those are all of the skins from the past week. We'll see from here on now what happens. Quite a lot of them did have quite a lot of sales, but they very likely took away a lot of the attention from all of the other skins. Will we see anything interesting happen potentially in the future? We shall see. But now, gentlemen, we need to start discussing the newest skins. Yes, we do. So, 9 skins accepted this week. As I had mentioned earlier, it's mainly weapons and tools. So if you're upset with this week's Rust store, I will give you a bit of a heads up. Maybe next week we're gonna be very clothing and armor heavy. And by default, if you have been aware of the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks, which I can just show you right here, Rust Workshop skin checks, if you are aware of all of the interesting clothing and armor skins that have appeared just the past weekend, here, look. In the description, you can see the collection. So we're just going to scroll down real quickly. Look at all of these collections in the clothing and armor. We have Forest Raiders, hide shirt and pants. We have Burlap, blackout. Scroll down a little bit more. Of course, you're already aware of the likes of Pirate hoodie and pants, but Flashback's hoodie and pants randomly appeared. Yep, that's a continuation of the right helmet we saw being accepted not too long ago. The colour of these is exactly the same colour green as Forest Raiders. I scroll down a little bit more. Reptile Hunter Tier 2. Ooh. And then we see Pixel Tier 3. There's a lot of clothing and armour skins racing for a spot for next week. So these are very likely all going to be appearing in TGG's next top picks list. And, well, who knows? Who knows? Because, like, yeah, I am very surprised. If I show you TGG's most recent list, so this was week 2, we were expecting the likes of Frog Cosplay to be accepted today. Nope, didn't happen. So next week, I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see the likes of Hard Suit Tier 2, maybe. or Frog Cosplay Tier 3, or Pirate Hoodie and Pants, or Pizza Tier 2, or Reptile Hunter Tier 2, or Pixel Tier 3. And then don't forget potentially maybe some of the other skins we saw, Frost Raiders Hide Shirt Pants, or Blackout Burlap, or the Flashbacks Hoodie and Pants. Don't know, but next week is going to be rather interesting. So yeah, if you're a bit upset with this week, just be optimistic. Next week could be very interesting. So let's start properly talking about all of these skins. Let's start talking about the Redemption M249. Last night, I made a bit of a fuss talking about how weirdly M249 seemed to be a seasonal. Why am I struggling to say this all of a sudden? If you just take a look over here, if we look at newest, last year we had a Glister M249 being accepted in March, springtime. We had a Black Gold M249 accepted in June, summertime. We had a Tempered M249 being accepted in September, autumn time. And then we had the Holiday Spirit M249. Oh, guess what? Winter. There you go. And guess what's happening so far this year? Spring, summer. So if you're a skin creator, maybe just not bother making an M249 skin until around September time. Hey, I mean, I don't know if it's an intended pattern, but it is rather funny how that's turning out to be replicated all over again. So, yeah, we're not probably going to be seeing many M249 skins being accepted this year. When we look at highest price, I just want you to take this into consideration. This already being at $3, it's already in the upper half of all of these M249 skins. Now, I will just bring this up. There's been quite a lot of hype for Redemption skins fairly recently. The likes of the LR300 and the Thompson have been going up quite comfortably. There's only 29 of these on the Steam market and 67 of these on the Steam market. So I guess they've been getting a lot of attention, and people clearly do like the Redemption collection. It's doing very nicely. I'm not sure with every new Redemption weapon skin if they're going up in price, because I will point this out. About a week or so ago, this had like 250 quantity on the Steam market. Suddenly, it went down to about 50, and the price shot back up. So, I don't know. And here's the other potential positive thing. Guess what? Slanosta, the skin creator, has actually gone ahead and made another Redemption skin. Good. Look at this. This is your potential SAR skin of the future. The Redemption SAR skin. That ever so lovely cranberry red shine. Well, that potentially is also on the horizon. So we do know that there is a lot of focus and support potentially in the future with the likes of Redemption collection. The main point I'm trying to get across is there's still more skins being made for it. You could potentially see all of the Redemption skins getting a nice boost as time goes on. Now, I keep telling Mr. Slanosta, you've got to go ahead and make some armor. Last year we had a nice shiny blue Skullkiller set. Where's my nice shiny red Redemption set, Mr. Slanosta? Where? So maybe we'll see that potentially in the future, and with that we could potentially also see a boost for all of the weapon skins, exactly like we saw with Skullkiller. So by default, M249. How many of you actually managed to get a hold of one of these? How many of you actually get the opportunity to shoot it and, skin it and whatnot? I am looking at these prices, and I am led to believe everybody's probably already got their main pick for a skin. Because you can see quite a lot of them aren't doing rather well. And it is actually fairly mixed. A 2019 skin here, a 2020 skin here. Yeah, it's a fair bit awkward. With this being an abnormal skin, I'd rather wait it out, see how many sales have happened, then make the approach. But by default, I do think Redemption will be getting some more skins. I do think Mr. Slowster will keep making more skins, and I am crossing my fingers and hopeful in the future we will see some clothing and armor skins from him as well. And that's just all the better. But if you don't want to wait that long, if you don't think it's going to work out too nicely too quickly, maybe leave it for a bit, all right? Maybe leave it for a bit. Hello, Kino. How you doing, buddy? I'm just talking about all the skins at the moment. So, yeah, I'd rather do my buy order first, then make a decision in regards to wanting to buy it. Remember, We're going to play this smartly. At some point, potentially today, tomorrow, or next week, we're going to see the 75% discount hit all the sticker capsules for Paris 2023. And I do worry for the skins. Even though, I will point this out, a lot of skins have been doing rather well fairly recently. I think a lot of people have been jumping in and buying out all of their skins in their summer sprees early. Because, of course, I've mentioned this many times. Prices have been going down for quite some time. You should start considering buying some skins whilst they're fairly cheap, because of course, in the future they're all going to go up in price again, aren't they? So just be warned. One of the major influences for prices going down still has not yet happened. So yeah, I'd rather just do a buy order. And you wouldn't be surprised if I say this a lot today. Right, so we got the hatchet and the pickaxe from hell. So we got the pair of tools. I just want to point this out to you. Pretty much every single hatchet and pickaxe pairs of skins we've had fairly recently within the past 2 or so years, yet they're all struggling, except one that's being manipulated. Yeah, Wasteland Hatchet's being manipulated. We're not going to count that. People attack this, and it's not... Listen, it's not worth $9. I can quickly show this to you. Remember what I mentioned with the Python earlier, where it was vulnerable for manipulation? Well, this did not sell that much, and the manipulators jumped in and attacked it. What you see here, 93 cents, yep, that's the genuine demand. And then everything up to here is all the fake manipulators trying to make it appear as if it's more valuable than what it actually is. This is not worth $9, and once they stop supporting it, it will crash and burn. So yeah, this isn't something we're going to be referencing. We're going to reference all of the other skins that came out this year, and of course 2022. Do you see any of them in the positive? Not really. Yeah, down here in 2021 we had the Ancient Amber set, and that did quite alright, but other than that, down, 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 down. Yeah, not good. So, and you might be sitting there and say, oh, but it's part of the From Hell collection. True. It's also glow in the dark. Yeah. So it's up to you if you're the type of person who does enjoy farming at night or not. But to run around with a glow in the dark tool, first of all, people are going to hear you chopping trees at night. And then they're going to just look around in the darkness and spot you with your glow-in-the-dark glow-in-the-dark tools, and they're going to kill you. They're going to steal your resources that you farmed. That's not smart, is it? So, whilst it looks interesting and fun, is it really that helpful for you? Probably not. So, just be warned in regards to that. However, with it being a From Hell collection skin, I'm also somewhat interested. So, by default, I will sit here and say I fully expect this to go below its restore price, because that happens to every single From Hell skin. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. All of them do. All of them will always go below their restore price, and then at some point they just get bought out. And of course, when loads of people return to playing the game, From Hell skins are one of the go-to skins collections. So yeah, I do think these will be going below their restore price. They are abnormal. I will be doing a buy order first, and then I'll consider doing a actual purchase. So, yeah, I don't think there's much else to sit there and say. It's glow in the dark, and it's not going to be super helpful. You are going to look like a right numpty at night time. People are going to see you. All right, people will see you. So, it looks cool. I want to point that out. Well done, Cirque. But, yeah. Probably not for the best. But for you, if you like it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator. But I'm a bit cautious about that. Yes, I am. Right, then we got the Arctic Skull MP5, and with the Arctic Skull collection, I've been making a bit of a point how a lot of people probably are looking at this as a budget alternative to the comic skins. And what do you mean by that? Well, if you go take a look at all of the comics collection skins, we have several weapons. Most notably, you got the likes of your $12 Comics SAR, you got your $7 Comics AR, and then of course you got several other weapons. But what we also see here is the Comics MP5. Well, that's only $2.20. All right. So we've already had this discussion point with the SAR and the AR. But now we have to kind of think of this a bit differently with the MP5. This is selling for $12. This is selling for $7, but this is only selling for $2. Right? Guess how much this Arctic Skull MP5 is selling for? $2. And, well, we know why. The MP5 really did drop off. Ever since the recall update last year, MP5s have struggled for relevance. They are not meta. yeah, okay. At the end of the day, if you have to use an MP5, I'm sure you're going to still somewhat enjoy using it, I guess. But why would you care so much about wanting to use this one rather than a comics MP5? Now, this does at the very least have this tempered tip, and of course, when you reload it, you do remove the jaws of the skull, which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. But yeah, if you do prefer it, I mean, by all means, go for it. But not everybody's going to be racing to go insanely in wanting to buy this because it's an MP5 skin, unfortunately. It is what it is. But this is also like the first MP5 skin in forever. Let's just quickly remind ourselves. When was the last MP5 skin to be accepted before this one? Right, Valentine's. It's been over 4 months. Right then, so yeah, very likely the reason why we hardly see any of them being accepted at the moment is because I am led to believe, because FacePunch have been pointing out that they've been very analytical fairly recently. They can see all the data, they can see which weapons get used more in terms of how much damage they do, and which doors get used and whatnot. I think we don't see so many MP5 skins now because they just aren't used as much as many of the other weapons. So yeah, a little bit awkward. Yeah, Blackout MP5 is doing pretty good at the moment. Again, TikTok. So, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I really want to go. I don't think I want to touch this one. I think I'd rather just stick with a buy order. That's my current answer. It's not really that much of a budget option if the original one isn't even that worth that much. So, yeah, bit awkward. El Diablo Pump Shotgun. It's been 6 months since the last pop shotgun. Pump. Sorry, I thought I said that rather weird. So, yeah, Recycler Pump Shotgun was accepted back in November. 6 months later, hey, how you doing, El Diablo Pump Shotgun? So, yeah, the El Diablo collection does continue, but we now need to consider, is this going to be doing as good as we think it might? So, if you can remember last year, there was a lot of usage with pump shotguns when they altered the one of the ammos, didn't they? I can't remember what it was. Slugs? That's it. So basically, they actually nerfed it, didn't they? Or tweaked it so it was better off as a short-range weapon rather than used as a mini sniper. Teehee, because it was pretty vicious, wasn't it? But when you look at all of the pump shotguns in regards to their price, let's just quickly go ahead and see this. I want to see the lowest price one, please. It's doing it by default. Cool. They're all doing rather okay. We don't really see pump shotgun skins being accepted anymore. Like I said, first one to be accepted after 6 months. So I kind of get the feeling it might retain its value, but I can't sit here and confirm it's going to be an easy profit. How many of you went ahead and bought recycler pump shotguns, fully expecting that this was just going to go up in price because we very likely wouldn't be seeing any other pump shotgun skins being accepted after this? Well, it did go up a reasonable amount, but if you bought these for $2 each, you've only made 9 cents each per pump shotgun. So keep that into consideration. Is it really going to work out well? And then you take a look at the Diablo collection, and then you see this is doing $2. That's doing $4. That's working out all right for that. But then this is doing $2. I don't know. Bit awkward. Again, I don't need to rush into buying this, but I look at that with interest. We shall see. We very likely won't be seeing many pump shotgun skins being accepted this year. There's been a lot of attempts. I will point that out. There's been a lot of attempts, but not many of them were accepted because this is the first one this year. So, a bit awkward, but yeah, I'd rather just leave it. Look how many sales have happened next week, then make a decision. Moving on, we have the Sarnana, the Banana Sar. It's bright, it's yellow, it's goofy, it's quite unique compared to all of the other SARs we've had accepted fairly recently. What do you mean by that? Well, go take a look at the colours. What do I see? This is bright and yellow. All of the other ones a bit dull, except, Arctic Skull. As I said, it's also a budget option of the comic SAR. So will people be looking at this Sarnana and thinking, do I want to run around with a giant banana and shoot people with it? Maybe. I'm a bit optimistic with it, but guess what? It's also an abnormal skin. I don't need to worry about this right now. I can do my buy orders first with the abnormals and then make a decision after that. So I might consider doing that. I'm curious. It's a colour skin that we won't really see that much. I don't think we're going to be seeing lots of yellow SARs in the future. Let me put it that way. And the goofier standout skins tend to do quite all right sometimes. I mean, it's a bit awkward. But again, because it's abnormal, we can use that to our advantage. We can do our buy orders first, look at how much support it has, then make a decision whether we want to buy them or not. Does that sound good? You want an all white in snow biome. Yeah, exactly that, but that's yellow. We don't have all yellow. We don't have Banana Land, unfortunately. So this I'm curious about, but I don't want to rush into it, so we'll leave it for now. Let's now talk about road sign gloves. So these are selling for $2.49. Surprised to see that this didn't come with the boots. And what do you mean? I'll just quickly show you. This was actually submitted with boots, but again, wasn't accepted. Bit weird, but this isn't the first time that's happened. Remember Skull Killer? Happened again with that. So anyway, road sign gloves as by default. Here you go. There are 29 skins. How many of them are currently in the negative? We got 1. We got 2. We got 3. All right, 3. And these are only down by 2% and 7%. When the gloves are part of a set, they tend to hold their value, and they tend to do quite all right. These are part of the JPEG set. And we have seen a bit of a response with the JPEG. Yeah, as you can see here, we have had a response. These were selling at lower prices earlier, of course, and then when we saw a new armor piece being accepted, there was a spike in demand. It's not a core piece, but we do still see reactions. Like, I think I already mentioned it earlier. I'll show you the JPEG pants. Get a good look at these. They're currently selling for like $3.50 at the moment. Yep, scroll down, and what do we see here? Ta-da! It was the spike in demand, leading to higher prices. Very nice. So earlier today, this was sitting at around $2, or right now it's selling at $3.40. I'm not sure if it's going to hold up, but a lot of people probably bought in because they're now thinking, surely the skin creator of this set is going to make another attempt for the tier 3 armor. Because if you look at the JPEG, you'll realise we've got the hoodie and pants, we've got the tier 2, but where is the tier 3? Well, it's over down here. There have been 2 attempts on the tier 3 already. This was back in September, and this was at the very beginning of this year, the 2nd of January. Both of them weren't accepted. Do you think the skin creators, Mr. GBG and Mr. Trigger, do you reckon they're going to be making a third version, a third attempt to try and get their tier 3 accepted? Potentially. I think a lot of people are probably already asking them. If you go to the workshop and see the comments, has anyone asked just yet? Yep, someone's asked right here. There you go. So, there you go. Yep, so it's already happening. I'm sure they'll respond at some point. We can discuss this matter during the 48-hour analysis. We'll probably have an answer by then. This is abnormal. I don't need to rush into it, but road sign gloves do look like they're holding up quite nicely at the moment. This potentially might be the thing, the one skin, that's probably the best skin that's going to retain its value as time goes on. Will it spike in price at all in the future? Debatable. But then there's also the case of, well, it's just a JPEG skin. It's not like it's, offering anything different compared to the, default skin. It's up to you, It's up to you. Hey, I'm not confident, but it's abnormal, so I can use that to my advantage. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to do root bow and chemical burn crossbow together. Whilst this this has some interesting use of transparency and bump mapping to make the root stand out a whole lot more. I mean, I'll give it to you. That does look really cool, Mr. Red Rex. I don't think people are going to care too much. I'm being honest with you. We recently had the likes of the Storm Bow, which a lot of people really did like. That's already down in price already. In fact, we can show you that right now. The most recent bow skin was the Storm Bow. Had a lot of interest. A lot of people really liked it. But even then, take a look at it. It's down by, only slightly. But it was worse off a good week or so ago. It's down by like 20%. So, yeah, bow skins don't seem to be holding up very nicely. $1.19, $1. Literally $1, $1.09. That one did okay, had actual demand. Does this have actual demand? I don't really think so. I don't think it's going to be doing all right. It might be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. Don't need to rush into anything. We can leave it for now. And then, of course, chemical burn. I don't really think people care for chemical burn. I really do think the skin creators for this need to consider making tier 2 or tier 3 armor. That is where you're going to get the best out of it. If you had like some melted, corroded down armor, that would look cool. I know a lot of people would appreciate that. Role players especially. You know, you could have some servers where they're like mutated zombies or something. I don't know, you get the idea. Looks awesome. So consider doing that, skin creators, 100%. And if we do see that being made and accepted, you know, all of these will jump up in price and whatnot. That would be cool. But that crossbow right there, I'm a fair bit surprised it beat out the bone crossbow. Can't remember the name of it. Was it bone break? No. What was it called? I mean, I'll just show you it right here. It was in this list. Scroll down. Yeah, I honestly thought bare bones was going to beat it out, but maybe the transparency it had wasn't liked by Face Punch. That very likely could have been the answer. So, yeah, chemical burn, here it is. Get a Google of that. Of course, with its burn sides and whatnot. But we've had so many of these skins accepted recently, they always go down in price. One of them was manipulated. I will point that out. But when it comes to actual genuine demand, you take one look. Do you see any genuine demand here? It's all in the red, down 50%. $1, down 37%, slightly above $1, down 37%, slightly above $1. What do you reckon's going to happen to this one? So, bit awkward, but it is what it is. So, yeah, that's it. Another quick refresh. Do we have some more sales to see? Remember, SEMM isn't very quick immediately when the new Rustore has appeared. You've got to kind of understand that it's going to take a while for it to update here and there. Usually every hour, you'd expect. So, yeah, I understand a lot of you are probably a fair bit upset, but it is what it is. But next week, fingers crossed, maybe we'll see a late pick for Hardsuit Tier 2 or Frog Cosplay Tier 3, or maybe Pirate Hoodie and Pants would be a typical pick. Maybe Pizza Tier 2 as a late pick. Reptile Hunter Tier 2 as a nice typical pick. Or maybe we'll potentially see the likes of Pixel Tier 3. I do know that the creator of this, Mr. Dividend and 1SQ, I think they wanted to... they actually asked Face Punch, it was on Twitter, can they change the name of some of their skins from Pixel to Voxel? Because when you look at all of the Pixel skins, we'll just show you this. Some of them are, you know, very nicely related to Pixels, you know, Pixel Sword and whatnot. But when you look at the likes of the Yoka, the Pixel Pants, the Boots, the Hoodie, they're all voxels. Voxels being more in the style of like Minecraft and whatnot. So that potentially could happen. And if it does, all the voxel skins will become new entities, and that means we can buy order all of them. Yep. So keep an eye on that if it does happen. But yeah, there has been discussions in regards to the like. In fact, I'll just quickly bring that up. The skin creator. Oh, it's not here. It's in my list. Yeah, it's in my list. Scroll down. Here we go. They were discussing that they were planning to make a version 2 that's more similar in the style of the Pixel Hoodie and Pants. So if that don't get accepted, it's fine. We'll probably get a different version potentially that's more like the Hoodie and Pants here. So cool. Quick look at the front page of the Rust Steam market, and yep, everything. Well, there you go. Pirate face mask, steadily the most bought and sold skin over the past hour. It's finding its feet. We'll see where it ends up at some point in the future. Again, it's interesting to see what happens with this. I'll be keeping track with it. Did it sell too much? Did it sell just enough? Will the genuine demand still keep it going up in price potentially? Chat, do you have any questions? Is anything on your mind? What's on your mind, gentlemen? What do you need answers for? Is anything troubling you, puzzling you? Oh, I could probably go over some things. I should be keeping track of this more. So last summer we had a storage collection, didn't we? Graffiti storages. Have you seen the state of these recently? Storage. So the highest quantity out of all of them is 94, and the lowest is 29, and they've all steadily gone up in price. Yep, people have been attacking these. There is no quantity of these left. They are doing quite all right. There was a bit of a pump for the boom storage like a day ago, so yeah, people are making moves. quite a lot of deployables have actually been gradually going up in price. I do kind of need to bring this up. A lot of people have been attacking some skins. As I said, it does look like some people have jumped in early to grab some cheaper skins whilst they're still available at those prices, before the likes of the 75% discount has even hit. So yeah, some prices have gone up because people have been on quite the spending spree. I already mentioned with the likes of the Redemption Thompson how that randomly jumped up in price because all the stock just magically disappeared. So yeah, highest price, get a good look at this. Yes, $9.35, with the cheapest one being $2.77. Now, you know what? I kind of want to show you this. Thompson's ended up with very low quantities again. Let's just kind of get a good look at this. It's probably because I typed Thompson's instead of Thompson. So yeah, look at all of the most recent Thompsons that have come out. Positive, 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 slightly down the negative, positive. Sorry. I tried to stop. I was like, oh. But I will point this out. We've been getting a lot of Thompsons being given away for free. Even then, they're still doing quite all right now. They went down by like negative 20%. Now they've gone back up. And if I just show you this, all the Thompson skins, look at the quantities they're at now. Quantity, highest quantity, of course, is going to be Tempered and Bombing because they came out during offline TV era, and both of these had like 80,000 plus sales. Well, do you know what? We go the other way, and what do we see? Retro Blast is down to 39, Zebra's down to 41, Tier 3's down to 41, Recycle's down to 46. Yeah, I'm just mentioning all the Thompsons that came out fairly recently. Yeah. Now, this has been acting weirdly. Artifact Thompson went all the way down to 16 quantity a few days ago. Now it's up to 59. They're fluctuating a lot. I don't fully know what's going on. But just know a lot of Thompsons are still below 100 quantity. Thompsons can be a bit strange, but by default, they tend to be very good summer purchases that turn into very nice long-term investments. So does nobody have any questions in regards to Ruskins? I saw you had like some opinions there, but you didn't actually ask anything. I was expecting some sort of... Loads of people asked me questions earlier. I shouldn't have answered them all, because now they've all disappeared. Right, well, I can at the very least point out that the Spanish Twitch event, Bellum, will be starting this Sunday, June 11, and that's going to end on the 17th of June. There are 15 skins that will be released and being given away as drops, so get a good look at all of them. Bellum, Sheet Metal Door, and Wooden Small Box are the general skins. So if I just pause this, we can quickly take a look at these. Make sure it's HD, of course. So yeah, a glow-in-the-dark Sheet Metal Door and a glow-in-the-dark small box will be given away as the generic drops. So you don't actually have to watch anyone specific to get these. You could just watch any Rust stream. But the other 13 skins are streamer specific. You do need to watch them on YouTube. Yeah, they all speak Spanish. Have fun. I mean, unless you're a Spanish speaker, then I'm sure you're going to enjoy yourself then, aren't you? Anyway, they're all here, and I'll be making a video going through all of them. We'll get a better look at them, and you can make a decision in regards to who you're going to chase after to watch first to get their skin. There's a lot of very interesting skins here. And, yeah, I guess we've effectively talked about all the things I could think of. So, yeah, which of these skins will potentially be the best investment? I don't think any of them are outright in your face, instantly profitable. I honestly think this might be a week of just doing buy orders. Yeah, honestly, it's probably just going to be that type of thing. Awkward. Primers, you might say the M249. I'll sit here and say I can't guarantee it. Bit awkward, isn't it? Honestly, it's probably going to be the road sign gloves. I still think the road sign gloves are maybe the best shout. Yeah. All right. Well, that's that then. So, yeah, I guess that's the week. Will we see a whole bunch of interesting clothing and armor skins next week? We have more than enough for a tier 3 slot, a tier 2 slot, and hoodie and pants slot. We could have 3 sets next week to counter the dreaded week of only weapons and tools and your random armor. So, I'd be optimistic for that. What are you doing there? Get out of the way. I clicked the wrong side. Here you go. So if you want to see this whole collection for yourself for potential skins that we might see next week, this is my Rust Workshop skin checks, and the video is right here. It was the second most recent video that I made. So give that a watch. You can watch me in real time as I talk about them, or you can just go to the description and click the link there to get the link to yourself. All good. All good. All right then, I'm done. Hope you all had a nice time. Hope you've been buying a lot of cheap skins here and there. Oh, I'm selling stuff there. Oh, Dead Souls AR for about 75 cents. I'll take that. You know what? Maybe I'll do a little bit of showing off. What have I bought fairly recently? Dragon Horn Garage Door for less than $1. What else we got here? Small fireworks pack for slightly above $1. Pirate Hide Pants for $1. What's that? Shimmering Custom SMG for about 75 cents. Got Tiger Mask. That's $1. Feels good. Feels good. Hey, you got to see it works. Oh, I think I'm signed in the same account on 2 different things. Oh dear, never mind. Selling those, that's nice. What about the main account? What's the main account looking like? I did already buy some pirate chestplate and face mask. I bought some comics boots for $1 there. It's quite alright. What if we go over to here? What do we see if we go back a few pages? I've been selling some of my festive deplorables because they've gone up in price quite insanely. Festive garlands recently got a bit of a jump in price because people on TikTok pointed out how it's useful deplorable that gives off light without the need for fuel. So yeah, that happened twice. Someone on TikTok said it was good, and then a month later another person said it was good, and it jumped in price twice. All right, New Year Gone going through the roof. Yeah, that one was random, wasn't it? I don't understand why that happened. It just randomly happened. Did someone on TikTok go and say, hey, this make noise, it funny, tee-hee, let's all go buy it out? Because I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Was it yeah, just randomly spontaneous. Who did this? Which YouTuber? Was it a YouTuber or was it TikTok? Does anybody have the answer? Vending machine replacement? Gong gong. What? So people can buy from you directly, they just have to ring the bell first. It has a super weird hitbox, hard to destroy. Alright then. Again, this is what TikTok's doing nowadays. A random 14-year-old will tell you, hey, this is really good, go buy it. And they do. It's madness. It's madness. But just to show you that festive garlands thing, I feel like I should. I believe it was someone on YouTube first who pointed it out as like a helpful, random, useful tip video. It was like 100 useful tips that you don't know about. So right now this is selling for $10.75. I think the video came out in like April, March. Here we are. So it was late April that YouTube video comes out. So this was sitting at around $3.50. Shoots up to sell at about $6.50 to $7. Calms down for so here we go. Oh fuck. Here we go. I've messed it up. I've completely ruined that. There we go. Right. YouTube video comes out. All nice. Then someone on TikTok says the exact same thing, goes up in price a little bit more. Okay, stops. Then another TikTok person says the exact same thing, goes up in price even more. And it just goes up even higher then. Yeah, madness. It's silly, but it's what happens. I saw all the videos. All right. You don't need to keep spamming links now, all right? You don't need to keep spamming links. We're aware of this, keeping track of it. I will just sit here and say, don't take financial advice from a child. I mean, if you want to, you can do so, but I can't guarantee it's always going to be reliable. But everything at the moment just kind of comes across as like a bit of a pump. I don't want to do things like this. I feel like that would have negative effects on the market and whatnot. And at some point, people will suffer because of it. In terms of, remember, if you're making a profit somewhere out there, someone's making a loss. And I don't want to just randomly pump skins. That would be rather unethical of me. So I don't want to do that. All right. So, yeah, let's see what happens in the future. Let's see how these skins turn out. Gentlemen, have a lovely week. I will be back here again to do the 48-hour analysis. And then, of course, I'll be hopeful and optimistic for the next week. Watch Face Punch accept no clothing and armor skins next week as well. I know what they're like. I've lived through last year. Catch you later. Bye.